Well, I put off this video for too long. I think it's about time I finished what I started. For my 100th video, canceled projects from my YouTube experience. Hello everyone, it's me, Jaden again. So the creator would basically do this himself, but he just likes for us characters to do it, because AWVR is totally the best railroad, in his opinion anyway. So, what's our first project we're starting with? I'm sorry, what? Yep, this shite show was going to return, but in Trains 12. In case you haven't heard of Rails of AWVR, long story short, it wasn't a series. Go watch episode 1 bloopers if you want more details. But, to be honest, it was even worse than Tales of the Metro Route Railroad. Speaking of which, I also asked BNSF 8010 if he could voice act. Now, it should be noted that I don't really have anything against Daniel. I don't really want to go into a whole topic, but I just don't really mind. I don't really mind Daniel as a person, really. I just don't really like Tales of the Metro Route Railroad. It's just been restarted so many times it's not even funny. Now, I never really went through with this. The only real thing I did was a little announcement short and a intro/outro. Both of those have been deleted with all of the ROA videos. At least I believe all of them. So, they're lost to time. So, as you can tell, this was a rewritten version of the Little Red Caboose, mainly taking place in the 1980s and 90s. Like with a lot of projects on this list, I filmed, edited, and forgot about it entirely. Will I do something similar? Will I probably revive this? I have no idea. Oh geez, this is a big one. Yep, Frog and the Quest for Racing was not the first YTP I ever conceived. This was right after Unlucky Tug did his Thomas Movies Ranked video. Most of the footage is gone, so basically the beginning part was like Misty Island getting nuked. Then there's the dying center. Yes, I actually created a very low effort route. The part I remember most is that Thomas actually just like pushes Thomas actually kind of kills Diesel. But looking back on it, I'm actually kind of glad I canceled it. Though I do like the brand new dying center was being built. I actually kind of like that. All right, so next project. Randomness free is basically the most random part out of all of this. So, from what I remember, Jaden pretty much wakes up in the shed thing, says it's pretty much a good day. My self-insert Roblox character shows up. Jaden crashes through the wall of the shed and ends up in a hidden gold mine, which is secretly where he stored Chris's RF&P Jeep in We Have Come For Your Railroad. And so there's a reference to the first part of Randomness trilogy. So then there's a reference to the first part of Randomness trilogy of Jaden basically crashing into Stanton. He basically has no idea whatsoever, and so get banished to the Shadow. So they tried to banish each other to the Shadow Realm. But the Uno reverse card basically says that AWVR will get merged into CSX and NS or something. That's actually like a cutout part to the thing, and it's showed by a little segment thing of a hybrid AWVR CSX boxcar logo. Then, Jaden takes the Baby Ruth special. No! Haha. And then the whole thing transfers into a parody of the SpongeBob episode Hooky. I think production stopped like around October of 2021. Yeah, that's when I think it did. So Randomness trilogy was never fully and so the Randomness trilogy will be left forever unconcluded. This short right here has the quickest writing, filming, and editing because I pretty much came up with it 2 days before Easter. So the plot goes as Jaden is listening to some copyrighted music on the radio. He accidentally runs over the Easter Bunny. He and Bob have to go find the Easter eggs off screen. Turns out the Easter Bunny is okay. He just used his non-getting hit magic. The reason why it was canceled is basically because I showed this to one of my family members and I basically realized it was garbage. It was kind of garbage. I will probably remaster this around Easter, so probably be on the look for that. So, this project isn't really a Rails of Highland Valley thing, it's more or less a ripoff of David Bad Day. So, what I remember is, basically depart the thing, and they don't really randomly, so, I don't really remember this, but the part I remember is that Dave basically hits a vehicle, then Dave commits CSX 777 derailment, and then magical 777 appears, and then he re-rails and then goes about his day. An average, I don't know. I don't really remember this project too well. So basically, this was a reference to the movie 10.5, where the earthquake takes out a passenger train, read by a CA Track-9, which is apparently NS, which also has Norfolk Southern spec. Okay. So basically what happens is, train is going along, all willy-nilly, earthquake happens, the track is gone, train tries to stop, but it falls into the thing. A shot of this was seen in the Modern Freight music video, which was really the randomness thing I did, to be honest. Now, there is one big project I have left out, but before we get to that, we're gonna go to honorable mentions. Now, honorable, or in some way, dishonorable mentions. Channel intro. This was basically just, I just wanted to use the I Love Toy Train music thing, but I basically just forgot about it. Mayday Cajon Pass remake. The April Fool's video was really a teaser for it, but since I pretty much recorded the crash and a bunch of runaway shots on Cajon Pass, which also made it into the Southern Pacific music video because I was lazy. But I really didn't want to go through with it. I guess probably because the little human moving animation thing, not even animation, but the moving thing, that was terrible. I really hated it. The original episode 2. This one really isn't a secret. So I was writing the, so basically, episode 2 would have really been just a story that Bob was telling Chris. But then I realized, wait, this is terrible. You know what the rumor is going to be. What is this thing I'm setting up? It's so obvious. So then I basically rewritten it to what would become Hoodoo Engine, now known as what would become Hoodoo Tables. So I guess not too much of a thing. Rats Shite Short 0.5 and 1.5. These were basically just me thinking of random ideas in pain. 0.5 would have been the Buster video in which I've actually released what basically I decided to do with the footage, and 1.5 would have been Jaden basically screwing around with the rail police. Both of these would have taken place around the same time. I've actually released of what I made for part 1.5 in a normal railroad pullover. So, I guess you have some idea. Now, I think that's all of the projects, so thanks for watching, and oh, almost forgot about you. My canceled film. If you haven't seen this community post, then this one might be a shocker. Like PMM, I was also gonna remaster my Unstoppable remake. But this time, it was going to be a straight up remake of the movie with basically no additional things. Mostly. Now this was right after I got my new computer, and PMM remastered his thing. The first real footage of the thing was the lash up scene on the Steam Nation route. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna pull an Asylum and basically copy someone else. Oh jeez. I managed to get parts 1 and 2 done by August. Part 3 took the longest. Production ended around September, October. After that, I pretty much focused on other projects. Next, after coming back to it, I realized it sucked, like, a lot. The green screen was horrible. The train's HUD and taskbar still showed up, and some of the face editing is just awful. So 2022, I decided, you know what? I'm gonna go remaster parts 1 through 3, then start work on part 4. Like Bendy and the Ink Machine. Like Bendy and the Ink Machine did. But after my Roblox account was hacked, you're not getting any details out of me. I basically decided to cancel this project. Now, part 1 is really the only part that can be viewed on YouTube, as parts 2 and 3 were blocked in all countries. I did release what I still have of it on Google Drive, but to conserve space, I moved it to PC Cloud. But just so a part of it could be on YouTube, I will release part 1 when this video goes up. Now, this won't be the last time you will be seeing Unstoppable. I still have one more version, but that will have to wait till Season 1 is completed. So, yeah, that's pretty much all of the canceled projects I can remember. If I've forgotten any, if I remember any, I will put them in the comments. So, thanks for watching, and have a good insert time of whenever here. That is a really terrible catchphrase, you know. Now, if you excuse me, I need to get my lines in for episode 3. See you when the series resumes.